So as some of you may know, recently I've been organising a raffle for the University College Hospital in London, thanks to TK UK Armour, as they sent me out one of their kits in order to review and said you could do whatever you want with the kit, so I decided to put it up for raffle. And I've been working closely with one of the Imperial Outlanders called Zen, who was able to organise a troop up at the local hospital and organise a whole online raffle thing. So he's done a load of work. So first off, thank you so much Zen for making this probably one of the best events the UK squad has ever done. So this raffle goal was to raise money for the hospital, where a daughter of one of our members was battling cancer at, and this was all done in memorial for her, and our goal was to raise £1,000 for the hospital. But with online donations plus donations of the day, you guys have gone over that and raised £2,225. That is amazing. Thank you so much for the people who donated to the raffle, and for the people who couldn't donate, thank you for sharing the link and raising awareness of this, because that is an amazing amount of money. And the actual troop that we did on the day as well was incredible, and just all together, just the Outlanders and Zen and the hospital have just done something really awesome, which makes me incredibly proud of this group. So this all happened on the 9th of October. It was the final day of the raffle, and it was the day that we went to the hospital to visit it. So the reason why this is a little bit later is because we had a couple of photographers come with us on the day and take a few pictures, but obviously those photos have to be approved, so we've been waiting for them to get approved. So through this video I'll show you some, and then at the end I'll put a little slideshow, and that slideshow will also be uploaded separately to the Imperial Outlanders channel, so you can see what we got up to on the day. But I'm just going to go through with you what we did on the day. So we arrived at the hospital, and actually there's a building across from the hospital which is connected to it, and across from that is where we got changed. We had a room that they gave us specifically for it, so we could get about 30 plus people in there that got armour boxes and all had to get changed before heading over to the hospital. And we had a quick briefing before we went over, so everybody knew what they were doing, what the itinerary for the day is, because all of us were being split off into different squads to go visit different wards. So when everyone was ready, we left our little change room and went to walk to the hospital. Only a short walk across the road, but we got some really cool pictures of us looking like we've just landed from a nearby Star Destroyer somewhere and we're looking to invade London. It's, you know, it's a really cool feeling when you actually get to march with a massive group of Star Wars characters. So we got to the main atrium of the hospital, which was like our hub area, set up a couple of bits so we could take donations for the raffle on the day and organise tickets on the day as well, and put our banner up so people knew who we were and what we were doing. And after going around the atrium, posing with a few pics with some general public and some of the patients there, we were split off into our groups, and then each group did their own ward visit. At this time, Boogie Storm also joined us, and they did the ward visits. I think they were with Purple Squad, and they went to one of the children's wards to go visit the kids in there. My squad was Red Squad, and we went to the Macmillan Cancer Centre where the young adults were, which was another building across the other side of the hospital. So obviously that's what we're there for. That's the cool part of the day. That's what all the patients are told about. So we come in, visit as many people as possible, take pictures, and just try and brighten up their day, because you just see the smile on their faces. Even some of the older patients that were like going to and fro from buildings were just like chasing us down to get a picture, which was actually quite funny and very, very sweet. So after our ward visits were completed, we headed back to the main atrium and started getting it set up for Boogie Storm's performance, because we had to cordon off a large area, and again mingling with people that were coming in, because there was a massive glass windows in the atrium, so people outside were seeing this sort of like massive Stormtroopers and Jedi and Sith, and were coming in, having pictures, things like that. And we also decided to have a little bit of a break. And with the way I kind of like to do things on events is we don't like stick to being in character all the time, especially when you're in somewhere really hot like a hospital. So just take our buckets off, because this is the biggest event the UK squad has ever done, so a lot of us haven't met each other before. We may have chatted online but not met in person, so again it was a really good sort of way to sort of meet people, because sometimes you know them only by certain characters, like, oh, I recognise you as this and that. So we got to chat to each other, and thank you to our Darth Vader, who the day before this actually baked a massive batch of cookies to bring down. He had like 3 massive tubs like this big, just filled with cookies that we all had stack wise, and that's why you should come to the dark side, because, well, our version of the dark side. Darth Vader bakes the Stormtroopers cookies. That is absolutely hilarious. And at this time, while Boogie Storm was getting ready and then we were going around just sort of setting everything up and chatting to people, a news crew from ITV London arrived. Now, we knew that there was probably going to be a news crew there at some point, but wasn't sure if it was a definite or not. And then you just turn around and then there's a guy here with a massive camera over his shoulder, and he filmed a bunch of us. So Boogie Storm came out and did a full choreographed dance performance. I would show you a clip in this video, but there's copyrighted music, so I don't know if YouTube's going to pick up on that, because YouTube have not been incredibly nice to me lately. So I will put a link down in the description below to the live stream that ITV did of the full Boogie Storm dance at the hospital. You can watch, see if you can spot me in the background kind of doing this a lot. So of course a big shout out has got to go to Boogie Storm and the guys in charge, Lee, who was absolutely lovely. Thank you so much for coming down and supporting us on this. It was absolutely great to meet you all, and really nice to actually see them perform in person. So after the awesome performance where a bunch of kids got to join in, we then closed off the raffle and started drawing out the prizes for the donation. Now, Warwick Davis was supposed to come down and draw the raffle prizes, but unfortunately his filming schedule that he was doing on the day overran. He was meant to finish at 2 and then like sprint down to the hospital to do the raffle at 3 o'clock, but his filming schedule overran, so he would have been down. But obviously that's something you can't help. You gotta put your job first. But hopefully we can persuade him to do another event and be like, you know, you missed the last one, right? Could you please do this for us? But we love him, but we thank him for actually agreeing to come down in the first place, even though he couldn't make it. So thank you anyway, Warwick. We appreciate it. So Boogie Storm and a few of the younger patients actually got to pick out the winners for the raffle prizes. And thank you again to the rest of IO for donating a bunch more raffle prizes than the original, like, 4 that we had on the original donations page. Everybody started digging out all this cool stuff that they had and was just like, here, take this kind of thing. So we had I think it was in total 15 raffle prizes that were won. So thank you guys for also donating some of your personal items to help raise the money. It works. We over doubled our total, which was incredible, so thank you guys for that as well. And once the raffle was done, that was it. We started packing up all our stuff and headed back to the changing rooms to sort of peel off the armour after being in a hot hospital all day, repack it, and while some of our members had to go back home because they were travelling for a while to come down, the rest of the squad were able to stick together, and we went down to the pub, which is now becoming traditional, and we now call it our debrief, which is essentially food and drinks after a troop somewhere all together. So we decided to head down to a pub which is actually opposite London Victoria Station, one that we've done for our previous troop. So if you do happen to see a bunch of people that the pub has shoved in one corner because we've got armour crates which we've all stacked on top of each other to try and fit in this pub, and a load of people wearing Star Wars t-shirts, then that's probably us after a troop. But as we were in London, and the ITV crew that was at the hospital was just for ITV London, it wasn't for like the southeast where I live, so I wouldn't have been able to see it if I was home. We were like, we might actually see ourselves on the news, because we were told you'll be on at about 6:30. So once everybody had gone to the pub and we'd managed to sort of wedge all our stuff in there. Also, before I continue, can I say another thank you to Monica and Vlasta for one, driving me up there, coming to pick me up, and driving my friend Dan up there as well, but also for them driving my kit back as well, because my friend Dan doesn't live too far from me, so he offered to take my armour back whilst I stayed at the pub so I didn't have to drag it on the train back home, and then he dropped it back off to me first thing the next morning. So thank you guys for that. I appreciate that I didn't have to run after my train with a full armour bag and all sorts of stuff, because I had a bunch of extras with me as well. So thank you. I'm saying thank you, just thank you to everybody. It's been really great. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. I nearly had a little moment where I cried. Nearly. I had to stop myself. So we all shoved our stuff into the pub and went up to buy our drinks, and I said, hey, to the lady behind the counter, is there a chance of you turning the TV over to ITV because we might be on the news. So I had to explain, you know, we've done this thing at the hospital and we've been told we're going to be in the news, is it okay? And they were really nice, and they changed it over for us and even turned the volume up like as high as it could go. So we ended up watching the whole of ITV News. Everyone was like, because we didn't know when we'd be on. We thought we might be on at the end, but we're not sure. So there's a lot of us getting ready to like sort of take pictures and film like our little debut of like, oh, and then it wasn't us and oh, which confused the servers who were like divvying out like chips to us. And which again, thank you for buying everybody chips. Very much appreciated after a troop. And the one small table of 4 random people surrounded by the rest of us who were like, what's going on? And then we had to explain who we were and what we do. And then finally, at the end of the programme, we were on. Like I said, I had a moment. I wanted to stand up and do like a really nice speech because it was at the point, you know, we'd hit our 2 years this year of being a group. In that 2 years we now have over 1,000 members worldwide. This is the biggest event that we've done for the UK squad, and I was just feeling incredibly pleased and proud, and I wanted to do a little speech but I didn't get very far before having to stop myself. So I just went, I love you all, and sat back down again. So I'm going to leave you now with a clip from our little visit to the pub when we were watching the news, and one of our members also recorded the news report on their TV at home, so I'm going to try and get the audio from that so you guys can also hear what the report is saying, as well as like hearing sort of all our chit chat in the pub as well. And then after that I'll do a little slideshow with pictures, and that slideshow will also be available on the Imperial Outlanders YouTube as well, so if you want to go watch that again without listening to me blather on, then you can do that over there. Thank you guys so very much if you donated or shared our little charity raffle. It was such a good event. I think most of the troops are still like overexcited about it. It's like I said, we only got access to the pictures recently for approval, so we're looking through them all and getting all excited again, and we hope to do something again like this next year. So thank you guys again, and thank you for watching. I appreciate it really just so much. And yeah, thank you to the whole of the Imperial Outlanders for being a wonderful group and making this little dream of mine something that is, you know, I'm proud to have it on the t-shirt and on my hat. Well, on my hoodie, because it's cold in here today, that's why I'm wearing both. So as always, I'll see you guys next time. May the Force be with you.
Heads up! Heads up! Move out the way! Move out the way! Drink my water!
Are encouraged to feel impossible, make them feel less anxious and more empowered about their release.
Whatever you do, just do it.
Stormtroopers.
Quick.
These aren't the sort of white coats you'd expect to see at University College London. They're the dark side, looking to do some white relief. Performers from the Britain's Got Talent dance group Boogie Storm toured the wards and gave a performance in the atrium. Raffle, just how much of an impact did it realise the dark side? The stunt was to raise awareness about the importance of play in children's wards. Imogen, who's 4, has been able to overcome her fears about cancer treatment playing with specialist toys.
Oh, my phone's run out,
What was it like? It was kind of really loud. The first time I couldn't hear it so different.
Now with a helping play, Imogen can stay completely still during treatment.
We use play to help them understand what's happening to them. It can be the difference between a child managing 6 weeks radiotherapy without having a general anaesthetic every day.
The dancing Stormtroopers were raising money for toys, and of course raising morale too. They were organised by Chung Zhen-ong, whose 13-year-old daughter died of cancer at Christmas after a year of treatment.
This charge, just for a bit of a smile, a bit of a laughter, is very important because that's the only escape in it. They haven't been stuck in the workbook or something.
And for a short while at least, escape they did. Some patients even getting a chance to take centre stage.
You see it on your TV show, but it was kind of like a bit better singing along.
Some nice dance moves there. What was it like in front of the crowd?
Very exciting, very cool. I can't wait to get out there and tell them how I do it. I saw the British Got Talent films. They are brilliant, they are amazing.
Made your day?
Made my lovely day, of course.
Oh, nice to see something.